Hi, I'm Steve Shore, Steve Shore Insurance. Thank you very much for visiting our webpage on how to get a quote instantly for your employer group. So I'll review this page and then I'll go over how to actually fill out the online form. So here's our webpage. You can get access to the online form by clicking that button. If that's difficult or confusing, you can just fill out a PDF Census, and I have a separate video on doing that, but it's pretty self-explanatory. When we get into the online form, this is what the census information looks like, but there's like 2 pages you have to do before you get there. And then this is the dependent information, which is really the same as the employee information, but you got to list those two so that we can give you a quote. And you don't have to pay the same amount as you're paying for your employees. You don't have to pay anything, but you ought to give the employees the option to cover their dependents. And then it gets confusing too with covered California subsidies. So once we have your income and the census, we can work on that with you. If you already have a census in Excel, here's like some information on how to upload it, or you can always just email it to us. We'll upload it again for you. And then here's some sample screenshots on uploading a census. Here's the companies that we do business with, which is like all of them in California. So, one form does it all. And then here's general information on health insurance from healthcoverageguide.org and Arthur Gallagher. He's a big, huge broker. And, I linked to his site because he's done work that would take me hours. And then here's, some more information on healthcare reform and so forth. And you're welcome to ask questions on our website or right here, enrollment questions, or of course you can just email us, steve@steveshore.com. So let's get into filling out the form. So you just click here, and then that'll take you to this page here where it says, tell us a bit about your company. The first thing is like to put in your zip code and the number of employees. Let's just say you have 5. Click continue. And I'm going to pause this for a minute so you don't have to sit here while I type everything. And then we'll go from there. It's not actually mandatory that you put in your SIC code, but it's helpful, especially if you want dental. For some reason on dental, they don't quote it unless there's an SIC code. So let's just say insurance agent. Find SIC code. And well, it's all the same code. And then it's really nice because it puts that in for you. So anyways, just put in your name, the contact name, the name of the company, the employer group, your email address, phone number, the retrieval ID card. And what that means is if you want to come back and look at your quotes again, you just put in that number that you made up, and then you can see your quotes anytime. And, you can get quotes without really giving me any contact information. But if you want our assistance, we'll need your contact information. So then click continue. Okay. So you got to have between 7 and 22 characters. I didn't put in enough. Hold on. Just put in something that you can remember one way or another. Okay, so here's the census form, and I'll pause this while I make up some names um, just so I can show you how the quotes work. Okay, so I've entered in a census, I just made up names and so forth. Now, for those that have a dependent, you just click here on the plus, and then add dependent. And we'll say spouse, but just keep going on for however many children you want, spouses and so forth. Then click save. Okay, and so here it shows all these people are employees, and here this says employee and spouse. Click continue. Loading. Okay, so now it shows every plan, every company with the lowest price showing first. And then you can double check how many people are covered, by, clicking right here on the premium, and it'll show all the names. Now, this just shows if the employee is paying half of it and nothing, and the employer is not paying anything for dependents. So, you can play with those numbers, but really the number you're probably looking for is just the bottom line and not how much the employer's paying, how much the employee's paying, and whatever. And then you can go over here and do bronze, silver, gold, depending on how rich a plan you have. So instead of showing everything, it'll just, show what you want. And then here on plan type, HMO, EPO, point of service, PPO, and so forth. And then you can choose whatever companies. You can leave it blank and get all of them, or if you only want to see Health Net, you can do that. So really, it's that simple. And if you have any questions, of course, you can just email us. And let me make sure I showed you a few other things from our website. This is our site map. We've got over 400 pages. So, you can find anything you need on just about any type of life or health insurance. If I didn't mention it already, there's participation and contribution requirements. So you can't just give us one employee out of 10 and expect it to be a group plan. For the quotes, you don't need to show us the proofs that you're really in business, but you will need to do that to get issued. Here's all the companies we do business with. And one question that comes up frequently amongst the self-employed, and let me find that page for you. Okay, healthcare reform did away with husband and wife, small business, or the single guy that owns a business. So you could be husband and wife and own a business, but you've got to at least have one employee that's not a spouse. And why the legal reasoning? I spent like 3 months looking it all up. And finally, I got a long, complex explanation from Covered California. I checked out the big words and the definitions, and they're right, and that's the way it is. So, they figure if you're a one-man shop with guaranteed issue for individuals, that, you didn't need that. And don't forget, Obama really thought that you were going to be able to keep your doctor, keep your plan. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen. And so when you look at the list of companies, there's a lot of companies that you can get as an employer, like Aetna and United Health Plan, but you can't get those anymore as an individual because those companies pulled out of the market. They didn't want to deal with subsidies or thought there was going to be too many losses with guaranteed issue, whatever. But, it is what it is. And I don't make the rules. I just find the ways to, see what they are and see what I can do to get you coverage. My dad and grandfather were insurance agents, and my dad told me that his philosophy was, if you've got the premium, we've got the policy. So thanks a lot, and be sure to visit our website, and we're happy to help you out. And, we'll help you out even if you're not a client. You can use the FAQ section at the bottom of every web page. Thanks a lot. Bye.